Hi everyone, welcome to this chat between myself and Jack, and we're going to be talking about Tapestry's feature of child login. Child login is a way for children to log into their own Tapestry account. They get their own login details and they can access their own journals. Is there anything else you want to add about that, Jack?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the main the gist of it. I think we kind of, it's fair to say we designed it for sort of older children using Tapestry, but you could probably use it with younger children as well. So yeah, I think it's really simple, and it's a really powerful tool to use on Tapestry. And that's kind of the reason we're having this chat, Ben, is to kind of put it out there a bit more. I think because I think a lot of people don't know about this yet.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly it. It's, as you say, it's a really powerful way to get children to sort of take control of their learning in a way. They can comment on observations that adults have put on. They can add their own observations, and if you use activities, you can set an activity for them, and then they can reply to that through an observation of their own. And the way it's set up is if they reply to the observation, to the activity, it creates an observation that is already sort of filled in with the title. It's got their name selected already. So, and then it all links it together. So as a teacher, I think that's really, that's really important, because I know I could set a group of children off with an activity that I've prepared for them. It's got whatever they need to do. Maybe I'll even record a little video sort of explaining what I want them to do, and then off they go. And as a teacher, that frees me up from that group. If they need support, great, but if they don't, they've got everything they need in that one place.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that they can comment on observations. And
yeah,
I think
it's kind of framed as asking a question, isn't it? When they create one, a comment on the activity, it's kind of saying like, ask a question to your teacher or adult.
Yeah, and there's also, as a teacher, you could ask a comment or post a comment to them, and they can then respond to you as well. And it's that dialogue as well, which is really important to help sort of further their learning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think you touched on a really important thing during that, which is the links together thing. It is kind of designed to all feed into this, learning journal. And if a child makes an observation, which is a response to the activity that the teacher set, and then the parents could perhaps access that observation and create one for themselves, and they can all be linked together, and it can form this kind of holistic overview of whatever this activity was, which obviously can be great.
And you said it's really easy to use and everything. I mean, setting it up, I've seen this used in schools in a number of different ways, but literally once you've set up the child login page for them, all they need to do is to go into the login page, which can either be through entering a web address. So you may have stored that web address on their browser. I've seen some schools use a QR code, so they scan the QR code on their computer and that takes them to their login page. Or if they've got relatives set up, they can also access it, if you want, through their relatives account. So they can do this from home as well, which I think is another really good thing.
Yeah, I think we try to put as a variation of different ways that people can access this, because obviously everyone's got very different situations. So I think it does provide a lot of choice with this. Definitely.
Yeah, and I think it's important to realize as well, the child will see exactly the same thing as the relative is basically seeing. It's in a more child-friendly way, so they don't.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Yeah, it is really colourful. It's simple. It's just accessible, really, I think, is a way to describe it. And they just see everything that has been published. So again, if you've added something and you haven't published it, they still won't see it. The same for scheduling of activities and observations and things like that. If it hadn't reached that scheduled time yet, they won't view that. So if you've got a lesson on Tuesday afternoon that you want this group to do, you could schedule it for that. So even if they logged in beforehand, they can't do the work before that. I know there are some children that like to do that, so that when they come to the lesson, they don't have to do it.
Already done.
Yeah, I would never have done that myself. But it's just a nice way that you can prepare your lesson for that group of children. And I think, again, it's just a really nice feature.
Yeah. I think that pretty much covers everything that we wanted to talk about, right? Yeah. I think if you've got any questions about this feature specifically, or any other questions, really, you can definitely leave them down in the comments of this video.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.